I hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to be reacting to, an album that is a long time overdue. And I'm talking about Brat by Charli Xcx, who's been having this amazing success with the album. I've kind of seen all the trends. I've heard snippets of the songs, like not a lot to be honest. But I've been a fan of Charli Xcx since, I want to say easily... like 6-7 years and probably more. I've listened to a lot of her stuff, and she's a genius. She's really a pop music genius, and a lot of people know her for her music, obviously, but she's written a lot of songs for other artists. As well in the past. So yeah, anyway, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait to explore this with you guys. Also, I went to her concert last night, so, ironically enough, Troye Sivan and Charli Xcx were in Montreal performing together on their joint tour called Sweat, and honestly, I was really surprised with the quality of that show and everything that happened, so I kind of want to go over that together, and I have a few videos that I captured as well, so I might share that on screen if we get to it. And hey, I actually don't know how to pronounce your name. I see it, I have an idea, and I'm scared. Because I don't want to mispronounce anybody's names. But hey, glad you can make it, and welcome to this live stream. So yeah, we're going to do the album Brat. I honestly, I'm debating whether or not I want to do... I guess it'll depend on how I react and how it goes down, but I'm not sure if I'm going to cover the remixes that were released, although I should. I know there's one with Lorde, one with Billie Eilish, one with Troye Sivan that just came out, Talk, for the tour. And I know that there's a remix album coming out in October, if I understood correctly. So anyway, we'll judge whether we react to everything or just parts of it. I know that at the concert, there are some songs that I'm not 100% familiar with. I've listened to most of her projects, but I think not all. And there's a lot of old school stuff that I should get back into, actually. But she performed live. There's one song or two songs that she performed that were not on the traditional set list. So, it just, I can't even pinpoint exactly what songs were performed. I guess I'll maybe Google it or something, what she performed on the tour in Montreal. I'm neither French nor Cypriot, but I am perfume nerd. Wait, perfume nerd? What does that mean? You like perfumes that come from there? Well, I'm so confused. I was hoping you'd be reacting to this. Yeah, it's been... oh, hold on. My eye is itchy. It's been on my list for a long time. Ever since it came out. But when it came out, I think I was either on my way to or in the middle of a trip to Europe. I was in Italy. And I just, I guess it just never happened. When I came back, I was really exhausted, was sick a couple of times as well, so that didn't work out. But it was on my list. I was going to get to it eventually one day or another, and then I was kind of waiting for, the remix album to be announced just to gauge when to do it. But considering the fact that I went to the concert yesterday, I'm this is more than appropriate to do today. Ship is an old style of perfume. Ooh, okay. Well, listen, the more you know. Honestly, today I'm learning. I am learning some stuff. Nice. All right, so I have the album in front of me, the original album, so there's no remixes on it. So we're going to start with that, and then I'll see what I do for the rest. All right, let me just put my headphones in. It's a solid project of 15 songs, so quite a bit. Yeah. All right. And also, if I'm not mistaken, when she released Crash, it was her last album that she had to do with her previous label. So that was a major change for her in terms of creative freedom and kind of the business part, where she had a lot more liberty and leadership on the project probably than in the contract that she had previously. So obviously, I think that showed in her art, and it definitely helped her probably be more aligned with herself, providing such a strong identity and branding, and leading. It's not the sole responsibility, but it definitely is a major factor in the reason why she had that success that she had this year. So anyway, I need to stop talking. I need to listen to some music. Let's start with the album 360. Wait. Oh, okay, hold on. There's already so much to process. First of all, I love the production. Synth pop like that, although this is leaning more towards electronic dance music than it is like traditional pop, or synth pop really, is amazing. To be honest, like I love that style. I love that genre. I love that sound. I love the plucks that are happening here. Production, A1. I love it so far. And also, I just realized we're gonna have, that's gonna be the main difference. Also, reacting to this album versus like seeing it live is now I can pay attention to the lyrics and really dive into what is written for the song. So just like the line, I'm everywhere. I'm so Julia. Is that a reference to Julia Fox? I'm assuming it probably is, because she had a period of like showing up everywhere in the media. But there's gonna be a bunch of like Easter eggs and so writing like that we're gonna have to decode. So yeah, it's off to a good start.
I'm everywhere, I'm so Julia.
Wow.
Legacy is undebated. You gon' jump if AG made it. If you love it, if you hate it, I don't fucking care what you think. Drop down,
yeah.
The camera flash on. So stylish. Baby T is all gone. Drop down, yeah. Looking like an icon.
See, there is something about her. I'm trying to find the right word. Not her pride, but like her self-assertion that is like, I'm here to stay. I know who I am. And it translates in grammar, translates in her music. And it creates such a strong identity. And obviously not maybe relatability because not everybody is maybe as confident, but definitely like something to aspire to. And I think a lot of people look up to Charli for that aspect of like, she doesn't give a I'm not going to swear in my live stream, but although anyway, but yeah, like people look up to her for that attitude and that energy, really, that flair that she has, and she converts that into great music.
Yeah, 360. When you're in the mirror, do you like what you see? When you're in the mirror, you're just looking at me. I'm everywhere, I'm so Julia. When you're in the party, bumping that beat. 666 with the Princess Street. I'm everywhere, I'm so Julia.
I mean, this is a great opener to the album. It really has like a high energy kind of, it's gonna kick off the whole project. Obviously, I've heard bits of the songs on social media and in the show, so I have an idea what to expect. But honestly, as an opener, this is exactly the type of energy of like, I'm here, I'm in the room, you better pay attention, and you're here for an experience. Like, I'm going to provide quite the experience. And obviously, this sounds a little more pop-ish. There's going to be variety in the album, clearly. But this is it's probably one of the reasons why this song, among all 15, was popular on TikTok. And I mean, the other platforms as well. But it's, I love that we're getting a blend of like music that is, I'm going to say simple. It's not simple as in like boring. It's simple as in the melody is like easier to grab onto and assimilate. And probably we're going to have more intense like tracks in the album. But yeah, I think honestly, just great opener overall. And I like that song and the writing too. I like it. It's anything but boring when it comes to the writing. Next song.
Right now. It's like when I go to the club, I wanna hear those club classics. Club classics, club classics. When I go to the club, I wanna hear those club classics. Club classics, club classics. When I go to the club, I wanna hear those club classics. Club classics, club classics. Yeah, I wanna dance to me. I wanna dance to AG. I wanna dance with George. I wanna dance to Sophie. I wanna dance to Hub Mo. Play the track fast, not slow. Pull it back twice, let's go. Sweat marks all on my coat. Tight like my kind of flow. Yeah, I wanna be blended by the lights.
Nice.
All night, never gonna stop till the morning light. Put your hands up and dance. Yeah, I'm gonna dance all night, that's right. All night, never gonna stop, never gonna stop. Yeah, I wanna dance to me.
Oh wow.
To the club. Yeah, I wanna dance to me. When I go to the club.
See, okay. That's funny because not every artist likes to listen to themselves, especially in public places. So that comes with a whole like embodiment of this energy of like, I know I'm good, I appreciate what I do, so I listen to what I do. And not everybody has that confidence. But yeah, I'm okay. I'm already like, I'm having thoughts, but I'm gonna wait until the end to share because it really might be a longer anecdote, and I don't want to cut the song too long. But this is 100% like the vibe of the Sweat Tour, and I'll get more into it after. Damn. See, this is the intensity I was talking about. Like, it really didn't take long before we got into it. But this album is really going to be like club focused. Music that you want to hear in the club, music that is really intense in terms of like tempo and rhythm. But when I said, yeah, basically this song really embodies a Sweat Tour like so much, because I was looking at the crowd and I was lucky to be sitting like in some of the first rows off the side of the stage, actually, and having a good oversight over the entire arena, and it felt like we were in a dance club. That's genuinely the energy that I had during the show, or that I felt during the show. So it was looking at everybody dance the whole time, and it reminded me of going out clubbing. This is really what was brought to the stage as a dynamic for the show. So it was such an experience to see everybody really kind of like participate in that spirit, and everybody so like in the zone. Anyway, so this song kind of really embodies that mentality and that approach, and just like here for a freaking party. Yeah. I'm probably not the type of song that I personally would go back often to. I prefer more of the pop leading ones, but a statement piece for the album for sure. Definitely.
I don't wanna share the space. I don't wanna force a smile. This one girl taps my insecurities. Don't know if it's real or if I'm spiraling. One voice tells me that they laugh. George says I'm just paranoid. Says you just don't see it. You're so naive. I'm embarrassed to have it beneath the sympathy, 'cause
Whoa. Whoa. Oh, I kind of paused it at the right time. There was a moment of silence in the song. I want to say I like the production on this one. This one is really, really cool. Not only that, but also like I'm aware of the speculations as to who the topic of conversation is in that song. I'm not going to go into it. I don't think it's worth it. To be honest, a lot of it is made up and like speculative. So it's nothing that we can't really say for sure who it is about. However, I do want to point out that lyric-wise, we're getting a bit of a storyline, and I like that, because usually her songs are a little more about a feeling, about a scene, but not so much like descriptive as to like the effects of a feeling. I don't know how to explain it, but it's really just like over time this. Hold on, let me say that again. It's kind of like her songs usually describe a moment in time, whereas this one kind of talks about like more of a situation. And so I like this. It's a little bit different when it comes to lyrics and content. And I've seen interviews before where she said like she's not the type of person to go like super like poetic in the lyrics. She's not going to be a Shakespeare and write lyrics that are like overcomplicated and everybody has to decode. And she's more straight to the point. But sometimes they're straight to the point about one moment in time, and there are moments where it's like straight to the point about a whole situation. And this is more of a whole situation. But yeah, no, I'm kind of I was fascinated by the lyrics for a second, and I was listening to it, but more like I found myself reading the lyrics.
Why I wanna buy a gun? Why I wanna shoot myself?
Okay.
I'd say that there was a God if they could stop this wild voice tearing me apart. I'm so apprehensive now. Don't wanna see a backstage of my boyfriend's show. Fingers crossed behind my back. I hope they break up quick, 'cause
Whoa. Sorry, I meant to talk and I got distracted with the comment in the chat. So I was kind of silent for a second. Yeah, exactly. I've seen all the headlines about who this is, and I'm not going to jump into it. I don't think it's worth it. Mostly because I think we're probably going to be proven wrong. That being said, I really like the production on this one. There's something more... also the songwriting. There's a really... obviously there's a lot of elements to it. The production is intense to a certain extent, but the melody is really like... kind of like screaming for help. And it's not every song that can do that. So it sounds like... honestly, it's well made. I really like it. And we're very coherent when it comes to the sound. I like the production and the instrumentation or the effects that are used in the song as well. I like it. And I think that was one of the songs that she played last night that I remember. Like melody-wise, I feel like I saw the performance. So anyway, all this to say that I like it. And so far, we're off to a great start with this album. I'm not surprised. I had an idea what to expect, and I heard a lot of things, and I also know her from, previous projects. But I that's one that I would definitely go back to. Definitely. Oh.
I might say something stupid. Talk to myself in the mirror. Wear these clothes as disguise. Just to re-enter the party. Door is open, let in but still outside. I look perfect for the background. I get nervous, sip the wine. I go so cold, I go so cold. 'Cause I don't know if I belong here anymore.
Okay. This one we're going to speculate a little bit about because I don't know what she's referring to per se. Could it be like an actual party that she lived in her life, or her, like the music industry, maybe? The whole like networking with other artists and not feeling, because there's for sure there's a superficiality when it comes to the music industry, depending on the people that you hang out with. And some people might not relate to it, might not want to associate themselves with it. And you can frankly get kind of a little lost with everything happening around you, especially dealing with like so many egos and so many people who, I mean, speaking from experience, take themselves for another person. So, yeah, I wondered like what was the inspiration for that song per se. Now I just saw. Hey, Lewis. Hey, how are you? It's definitely a favorite for me. But I think I saw the message for the previous track. Yeah, I definitely will go back to it as well. Anyway, let's continue the track.
I don't feel like nothing special. I snag my tights out on the lawn chair.
Oops.
Guess I'm a mess and play the role. Used to live just for the party. Door is open. I'm famous but not quite.
Well, that's changed. That's definitely changed.
Background, 1 foot in a normal life. I go so cold. I go so cold. And I don't know if I belong here anymore.
Whoa. Okay, yeah, that definitely feels like the music industry, or at least some sort of like part of stardom environment that she doesn't feel like she belongs in. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely on the slower side of the album, so this is going to be interesting to see like where it ranks in which. Speaking of which, now I just realized I still haven't ranked Chappell Roan's album on the last video. I have to go do that. Probably will after this video. But yeah, no, it's I like it for the honesty. I like it for the topic of it. It's obviously less catchy. It's more almost like an electronic ballad, I want to say. But for the small amount of lyrics in a song, it really tells a lot. So that's a proof of great writing usually. Which reminds me of an anecdote. Oh, hi. Oh, okay, hi. I have no idea how to pronounce your name. I'm not going to lie. I wish I could. I wish I knew. Please tell me how to pronounce your name. But hi. How are you doing? Welcome. Yeah, there's a story or an anecdote of like this man that entered a writing contest where you had to use the least amount of words possible to create the most impactful story. And I think the person went down to 6 words, which were, if I'm not mistaken, baby shoes for sale, period, never used. Which, when you start thinking about it, that's when your brain spirals. But, like, baby shoes that are never used kind of makes you think, okay, well, the baby may be passed away and the shoes were never used. So, like, just 6 words, and, like, it creates a whole story in your mind, which is wild. And I feel like this is kind of the effect that we're having here. Like, it's not a lot of words. It's a short song, but it creates this entire vision in our brains of like what she's going through and what she's feeling.
I've been looking at you.
Ooh.
Putting holes in your head. We've been talking for months.
Okay.
But never in the same room. Now I wanna approach you. But we've been keeping this a secret. And you're surrounded by friends, and I'm just wondering what they know. I wish you'd talk, wish you'd talk, wish you'd talk, wish you'd just talk to me. I wish you'd talk, wish you'd talk, wish you'd talk, wish you'd just talk to me. I think you're getting closer, 'cause I've been getting nervous.
Okay. Okay, this actually kind of reminds me of Daft Punk in the 90s and early 2000s. Like a little bit of like a One More Time, if I remember correctly. It's this like dance club, yeah, late 90s, early 2000s, and I like it a lot. I'm not surprised as to why Troye Sivan is on the remix for that one. It actually really fits his album really, really well, which I have reacted to, so it's on my YouTube channel if you want to see that. Yeah, I think I reacted to it when it came out maybe a year ago, I want to say, something, yeah, around that time. But yeah, I love the production. We're getting something that's a little more like mainstream. You know, I'm gonna say I'd be really curious to see a collab between Daft Punk and Charli XCX, what that would result in. I'm assuming it would be something close to this, because this sounds really, really great, and it sounds a little bit like both. I'll take a second to look at the chat. Will you react to the remixes released? I recommend it, especially the one by Lorde. Yes, so that's why I'm like debating. We'll see how much time it takes to react to the album, because there are 15 tracks. Depending on how late, I guess, I get, I'll see if I react to it this time, another time, or I wait for the remix album that was announced. That should be coming out in October, so not too long. So I'll see when exactly I react to it, but I definitely want to. And I heard like the remix to Talk Talk with Troye Sivan live in concert yesterday. The Lord One is a must. Yeah, I've heard. If I'm not mistaken, it's "Girl So Confusing," the title of that track that she's featured on. So anyway, all this to say that yes, Talk Talk. I like the production. I really like the production.
I'm kinda thinking you are. I followed you to the bathroom, but then I felt crazy. I'm feeling like I'm on fire.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting a little bit of like it might be more of a fake synth. Well, fake. It's a synth guitar that's played, or a synth with the effect of a guitar, but it looks wow. It sounds like a guitar in the back with a bit of groove in it, which reminds me of Daft Punk too as well.
'Cause we've been keeping this a secret, and all your friends are still there, and I'm just wondering what they know. I wish you'd talk, wish you'd talk, wish you'd talk, wish you'd just talk to me. I wish you'd talk, wish you'd talk, wish you'd talk, wish you'd just talk to me. I think you're getting closer, 'cause I'm getting nervous. I wish you'd talk, wish you'd talk, wish you'd talk, wish you'd just talk to me. Talk to me, wish you'd just talk to me. Talk to me, wish you'd just talk to me. Talk to me, wish you'd just talk to me. Talk to me, wish you'd just talk to me. Talk to me, talk to me in French. Talk to me.
Oh my God, I have to say, okay, so yesterday, for those of you who might have joined like right now, I saw Charli Xcx and Troye Sivan together on the Sweat Tour. I think I'm going to say this like 72 times during the stream. And they performed Talk Talk, the remix, live together on stage. I'm from Montreal, which is in a French province, part of Quebec. So we speak French. My mother tongue is French. Like I speak both languages really well because I like have spoken both all my life. But I was raised in French. And so there's always an element where like when artists show up here in Quebec, they do the same thing as they would do in France, as in they would slip in a few words of French here and there, and they try to like play around with the crowd using a bit of things that relate to them. So listen, I'm not gonna put Montreal as the best crowd ever, just in case, because I don't want to put that pressure. But I've heard Montreal is one of the best crowds out there. Many artists, when we go see them live, they usually make a comment about it because we are hella loud. And I'm not talking about festival crowds; they tend to be quieter. But like when we go see an artist, we tend to be loud. We tend to make a lot of noise and really get into it. So I think from what I understood, Troye and Charli were really impressed with like how much fun we were having and how loud we were. And there was a play where it's like a play on words, where it's something that happened at the end where that talk to me in French, like they put so much emphasis on it that obviously the crowd like loved it. They knew that we spoke French as a crowd in Quebec. Anyway, all this to say that it's kind of this like little personalization that happened in the show yesterday, and it happened during that song. I'm gonna take a minute to have a look at the chat. So I love that she included songs like this on the album. This gives it fun and atmosphere, absolutely, but at the same time gives it meaning and self-reflection. Well put. To be honest, I completely agree. What, in my opinion, makes this album deeper than it might seem at first glance. Absolutely, and I said that at the beginning. Like getting into this album, there's a writing quality to Charli Xcx that I think she's an underdog, to be honest. Like in the industry, she's been performing so well. She's written for so many other artists too, and this kind of proves the point. She's a great songwriter, and it took a long time before she really came out to the surface and like people really recognize her work. But it's always been the case. And what's really cool about artists that kind of push the boundaries is that it's so much easier to push the boundaries and kind of reel back than to not be able to push the boundaries and be really reserved and not be able to put it out there, like all of you. So it's harder to force somebody to really pull out what you're trying to get from them as an artist than to take an artist that goes crazy with the ideas and kind of like chop until it's something that's concise, that really makes sense, and that is well put together. So I think that's definitely, or at least the latter of what I said, is definitely for Charli Xcx. It applies 100%. She's this massive creative brain, and I think she might have, I mean, we'll see the rest of the album. There's a lot to go through, but she definitely learned from Crash being much more like pop mainstream aligned, where being a little more pop mainstream is more accessible. And she has music in the past, or she had music in the past where it was really so out there that it took it created a very specific niche. And then having songs like that, it kind of opens up the door to anybody who has an ear more for like mainstream pop. So no wonder why she's been having this success that she's been having in the last few months. Taylor, hey, welcome to the stream. Glad you're watching this. Talk to me in French, talk to me in Spanish, talk to me in your Imagine language. Yeah, your made-up language, yeah. Absolutely, my fave. By the way, my name is Laura. Laura, it's good to know. Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear. All right. I hope you guys are having fun so far. This is fun to explore this album with you guys, and like I love having your opinion in real time about this, which changes the whole dynamic for me versus like recording the previous videos that I had in the past where I would like interact with the comments instead. Like the written ones, not the live ones on my chat. So yeah, we're going to finish off the song and then we'll move on to the next one. Nice. Honestly, I liked it a lot. This, like I said, it's really nostalgic in a way. It reminds me of like late 90s, early 2000s dance music. Yeah, it's fun and easygoing. And I like there's some repetition to the word talk, but it's not annoying. So some people overuse some words, like in pop songs especially, they repeat the same things way too many times. And it gets annoying to a certain extent. In this case, not at all. It worked wonderfully. It's okay to just admit that you're jealous of me. I heard you talk about me, just a word on the street. Your obsession is compulsive, put your hands up. It's obvious I'm your number one. It's alright to just admit that I'm the fantasy. Your obsession, just confess it, cause it's obvious I'm your number one. I'm your number one. I'm your number one. Yeah, I'm just living that life. But that's called classic, but it's still pop. Whoa. You get mad because the bag's up. I know your little secret, put your hands up. It's so obvious I'm your number one. Life bomb, that's called classic in your eardrums. Why you lying? You won't fuck unless she famous. My little dasher, darling, you can have this. It's so obvious I'm your number one. Whoa. It's okay to just admit that you're jealous of me. You're obsessed and just confess it, cause it's obvious I'm your number one. This is one of those songs where I think when you listen to it the first time, you're like, okay, interesting. But it translates live so well. It is such a high energy song when performed live that it gives it a whole other life. And I think I'm already thinking about the ranking, obviously. Probably it won't score among the highest ones, but first of all, it matches the theme of the album really, really well. Second of all, now that I've seen it live, like I understand it a lot more. There's something else to it that breathes when it is performed live. And also I wanted to say that's an interesting choice as a first single because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first song that came out from this era. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it so far, but I think I probably would not have enjoyed it as much had I not seen the concert. So it kind of changes my perspective on it.
I'm your number one, I'm your number one, I'm your number one, I'm your number one, your number one, your number one, your number one. I'm just living that life, that's called classic, but I still pop. I get money, you get mad because the back's up. Yeah, I know your little secret, put your hands up. It's so obvious, I'm your number one. Life, that's called classic in the eardrums. Why you lying? You won't fuck unless you fucking mine. Do that little dance without it, you be nameless. It's so obvious, I'm your number one. I'm just living that life, that's called classic, but I still pop. I get money, you get mad because the back's up. Yeah, I know your little secret, put your hands up. It's so obvious, I'm your number one.
Interesting. I saw your comment, Lawrence. Yes. Okay, this is the first single of the album. Good to know. Listen, I'm going to be transparent here. I have no idea what Von Dutch is. I only know what Dutch is. It's a clothing company. Is an American multinational fashion brand. Got it. See, I wasn't even aware of that. Okay. Huh. Called classic, but I still pop. Interesting. And I just opened up the website for Von Dutch, and the website is under construction. We're giving our site a badass overhaul, so we're hitting the pause button on orders. Don't worry, we're not ghosting you, and the new version will be dope AF, you'll see. Nice. In the meantime, hit us up on our social sites or sign up to our newsletter to stay in the loop. This is not sponsored. I had no idea we were getting there, but interesting. Got it. So yeah, it is a name for a clothing brand. Yeah, I have no idea about the brand whatsoever. I'm learning this as we speak, but definitely provides a visual element to the song, like a metaphor of what she is in terms of music and the music industry and what she stands for and represents. All right. I listened to this song since the release, and I found... Hold on a minute, I can't read. There's a logo on... I found out this only yesterday. Oh! Wow. See, we're all here to learn. We're all here to learn and experience it together. Everything is romantic. Oh. Oh, what a change.
Bad tattoos on leather tan skin, Jesus Christ on a plastic sign. Fall in love again and again, riding roads doing manual drive.
Okay.
Bad tattoos on leather tan skin, Jesus Christ on a plastic sign. Early nights in white sheets with lace curtains. Capri in the distance.
actually so funny. She said, I mean, she's not saying this, she's seeing this, and we're here reacting. But so I was talking about the reason why I didn't react to this album was because I was on a trip, and I was in Italy, and I went to Capri. So I don't know where she was staying in this song or like the story, but I was in Capri, further away. I saw a comment about this, the intro. This intro is amazing. Yes. I feel like I should have an Aperol Spritz in hand for you. 100%. 100%. Aperol Spritz are so amazing in Italy. Wonderful. Especially compared to here in North America. But yeah, we're having this very like... It's funny because at the beginning of the song, I wanted to say that it sounds kind of like an 80s... 70s, like Italian classic, almost like opera inspired, with the strings and whatnot. And now we're getting this reference to Italy. I don't know if we're gonna have a switch up though. I'm curious to see.
Tattoos on leather tan skin, Jesus Christ on a plastic sign, all in love again and again, winding roads through manual drive. Bad tattoos on leather tan skin, Jesus Christ on a plastic sign, all in love again and again, winding roads through manual drive. Early nights and white sheets of lace curtains, Capri in the distance, in a place that can make you change, all in love again and again. Early nights and white sheets of lace curtains, Capri in the distance, in a place that can make you change, all in love. Everything is romantic.
Whoa.
Everything is romantic. Everything is romantic. Everything is romantic.
This is definitely more the traditional Charli that I've known in the past, besides Crash. But anything that came before that, this sounds more like her, or at least the older version of her music. I'm gonna probably be silent for most of it because I'm just like hard bopping. But yeah, no, this is interesting production.
Lemons on the trees and on the ground, sandals on the stirrups of the scooters, neon orange
Yeah, lemons,
trees on
yeah.
the beach. 4 generations make up a family. Lemons on the trees and on the ground, sandals on the stirrups of the scooters, neon orange drinks on the beach. 4 generations make up a family. Early nights and white sheets of lace curtains, Pompeii in the distance, in a place that can make you change, fall in love again and again.
Whoa.
Early nights and white sheets of lace curtains, Pompeii in the distance, in a place that can make you change, fall in love again and again, 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 and fall in love again and again, 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 fall in love again and again.
Wait, is it gonna... Okay, no, it's not gonna transition. For a second, I thought it might flow into the other song. Could have. So I want to say this is interesting because, first of all, it's definitely about Italy because all the references. It's so funny that I was in Italy when this came out. That is 100% like what I would see, Pompeii in the distance, and like the lemons and the neon orange drinks, which are Aperol Spritz. There's something so magical about Italy and the for North American especially to go there. The vibe is definitely romantic. It feels like living a dream. depending on the sectors, obviously, that you go to. But as a tourist and visiting places, and really like committing to exploring Italy and the best sides of it, this feeling is 100% it. Now, the irony in repeating Fall in Love again and again so many different times is that one of two things. It's either you kind of feel in this like nonstop dream when you're there and it's like repeating, or you kind of end up at the end and you're like, you become bored of it. But not bored of the song per se, but bored of like falling in love because it's kind of a criticism. Hear me out, guys. Hold on. I might sound confused. I'm not. I'm just trying to get my point across. So, if you are to live a certain quality of life and it maintains throughout your life, this kind of becomes your new standard, your new expectations of what should be. And so, anything below it becomes like negative in a way. So if that bar is too high in your life, then it's kind of like that repetition of what seems to be amazing eventually is going to sound like or become simply like, yeah, that's just life. That's the way it is. I'm used to it now. So this is kind of like the interpretive way I see in the song where it's like you live it, and it's so magical at first, but in the long run, if that becomes your new normal, you're kind of gonna get fed up with it. Like, boring, kind of, I'm used to it, I've been around, like, that. I want something better. So that repetition of fall in love again and again kind of provides that feeling of like, okay, I've seen this before, I'm used to it now. And this kind of comes as a criticism of like, those who have so much money and are constantly on vacation, like, aren't you bored of that at some point, of always doing the same things over and over again? Anyway, I just went full and deep into the song. I hope you guys kind of like were able to follow my logic there. But there are so many things to decode from that song that at face value you don't necessarily see. But if you take the time to think about it, you can really dig out some deep meaning in it. Now, okay, comments. Let me catch up. The song also gives me Italian vibe, and I don't know why. Well, I mean, all the references to Italy. It was just on my mind all the time. Shifts in the song, just like my mood change. Sounds like it would fit perfectly on her Charli album. Yeah, exactly. It's very throwback-y for Charli's discography. My relatives were in Italy at the beginning of the summer, and they absolutely did not like it. Ooh. How so? I mean, why so? Why did they not like it? What about it did they not like? Because I had an amazing experience in Italy. Obviously, it was my first time in Europe, but like I said, it almost felt like a dream being there constantly. And I was there for a little while, like 2 weeks and a half. So it was pretty intense and wild. All right, next one.
Sometimes.
Ooh.
I wasn't insecure to when I didn't overanalyze my face shape. Nowadays I only eat at the good restaurants, but honestly I'm always thinking about my weight. I used to never feel embarrassed when I call out the paparazzi. Everyone else does it constantly. I hate these doubts that keep running through my mind. Sometimes I really think it would be cool to rewind. Sometimes I just wanna rewind.
I really, really want to bop to it, but damn, the lyrics are sad. Whoa, I did not expect that. And I kind of have a preview of what's in the next verse. Whoa, that I'm like, it stopped me cold. Just, I wanted to like have fun with this track, and then I just realized what it was about, and this is not fun. This is not a great, I mean, it's a great topic of conversation, but it's not pleasant for her as an artist.
Sometimes I just wanna Used to burn CDs full of songs I didn't know. Used to sit in my bedroom putting polish on my toes. Recently I've been thinking about a way simpler time. Sometimes I really think it would be cool to rewind. I used to never think about Billboard, but now I've started thinking again, wondering about whether I think I deserve commercial success. It's running through my mind. Sometimes I really think it would be cool to rewind. Sometimes I just wanna rewind. Sometimes I just wanna rewind. Sometimes.
Wow. Damn.
Sometimes I just wanna rewind, wanna turn back time to a different time. Oh, sometimes I just wanna rewind, I just wanna rewind, I just wanna rewind. Press rewind, yeah, yeah, press rewind, yeah. Bring the beat back, press rewind, yeah, yeah, press rewind.
Wow. Like I said, it's a lot deeper of a song that you might think of it. It's so introspective, self-introspective especially, which we don't have a lot of. Like, I mean, it's becoming more and more of common use in pop songs, but up until recently, self-awareness like that in music was not something that was very common. The other thing is, it's funny how sonically there is a similarity to 360, and the fact that we're talking about rewinding almost brings us back to the beginning of the album. So there's kind of like that effect of like feeling like we've heard this before, but the topic being literally rewinding. And like I said, the lyrics really are so truth-telling and like deep. And if you don't pay attention to it, you're going to completely miss out on the meaning of the song. But it's hidden in such a strong and busy production that I just wanted to bop to it, but my mind was like, "Oh, this is sad." All right, A.G. Cook proving once again he's one of the best producers of our time. You know, I'm gonna be honest. I up until recently wasn't very much aware of A.G. Cook as a producer, and I need to do more research. I need to dive in deeper and get to hear more of the discography by this producer. Different mentalities, different people, some peculiarities of Italy. I listened to their stories about people, some everyday peculiarities, and thought, OMG, I would have loved this trip so much. Yeah. I mean, compatibility between perspectives and personalities for sure, and preferences. Definitely preferences. Some people like going on a cruise. Some people don't. Some people like going to a resort, and some people don't like that. So yeah, I guess it's just a matter of compatibility. But yeah, all this to say, rewind. It's kind of a two-tier situation that's happening. Like, we have the music production that's so like high and bright and like up tempo, and then we have this like storyline which kind of kills the mood a little bit when you were digging too deep into it. But at the same time, great for her for going like straight to the point, telling the truth, not being scared of putting it out there, and sharing that type of mindset with people. So
every day, every night. Your star burns so bright. Why did I push you away? I was scared sometimes. You had a power like a lightning strike.
Whoa.
When I'm on stage, sometimes I lie. Say that I love singing these songs you left behind. And I know you always said it's okay to cry. So I know I can cry, so I cry.
Whoa.
Wish I tried to pull you closer. You pushed me hard, made me focus. Your words brutal, loving, truthful. I was petrified.
Oh.
You're a hero and a human. Track was done, I'd make excuses. You would say, come on, stay for dinner. I'd say, no, I'm fine. Now I really wish I stayed. Always on my
Whoa.
every day, every night. Your star burns so bright. Why did I put you away? I was scared sometimes. You had a power like a lightning strike. When I'm on stage, sometimes I lie. Say that I love singing these songs you left behind. And I said it's okay to cry. So I know I can cry, so I cry. Guilty feelings keep me fractured. Got a phone call after Christmas. Didn't know how I should act. I watched you dance online. Your sounds, your words live on endless. When I make songs, I remember things you'd suggest. Make it faster. Would you like this one? Maybe just a little bit.
Whoa.
Always on my mind. Every day, every night. Your star burns so bright. Why did I put you away? I was scared sometimes. You had a power like a lightning strike. When I'm on stage, sometimes I lie. Say that I love singing these songs you left behind. I said it's okay to
Oh. We're probably going to have some sort of like musical outro because I'm seeing the time of the song, which is 2:47, but it's a 3.5-minute song and we're almost at the end of the lyrics. So I feel like we're going to have some sort of like major production moment at the end.
So I know I can cry, so I
Whoa. Okay. I really, really like this one. I wonder who this is about. This is interesting. I'm assuming it probably is a producer, because from my understanding of the song's, the song's lyrics, somebody that she worked with and that obviously pushed her hard, made her focus, really helped her out, and I guess wanted to initiate something romantically, and she turned it down, but now she regrets it. Yeah, at least it sounds like it. And the other thing too is I like the staccato effect of the verses, like guilty feelings keep me fractured. There's something about it, like really, I guess from a artistic interpretation point of view, almost feels like you're forcing yourself to like be a robot and not to feel these things. So you take it one step at a time to like force yourself through it, even though it's definitely not a positive story that we're getting in the story in the track. It's like negative feelings that we're getting. Let's have a look. That's the one about Sophie. Oh, Wow, I can't believe I didn't associate that before. Got it. Got it. All right. Well, that answers my question. All this to say that, like, this is a great song. I really like the way it was made and the way it was produced. And it is staying in the lane of, obviously, Charli XCX's signature, but also kind of like, I don't know how to call it. It's kind of a ballad. It's simpler. It's not as like busy as the other songs we might have heard before, but it's still not. It's not like a piano ballad or anything like that, which I like it. I like. Charli has a signature, and it stands out, and it helps her really have her own lane in the realm of music, or pop music at least. Because I'm sure there are many artists that kind of overlap in terms of like style and sound, but when it comes to like mainstream music, she really comes out on top, or at least in her own lane, as you know, a solid figure. So yeah, wow, great song. Her posthumous album, yes, I heard about it. Which I had forgotten, but I'm going to note it down now because if I can, I'm going to react to it. I do know that, speaking of future reactions, I mean, we're talking very, very different here, but Katy Perry's album is going to come out on Friday, so I'm going to try to stream on Friday so I can listen to the album with you guys. And I think, hold on. Oh yeah, there's the Kalani video that I still haven't finished editing. I've been a little busy recently, so I'm trying to finish that and probably will put it out by tomorrow or Thursday at the latest. And what else? Anyway, I kind of want to make these live streams like a recurring thing, maybe once or twice a week, especially on Fridays when the music is fresh and it has just come out. So yeah, I'll note it down and I'll try to get to it next week.
It's so confusing sometimes to be a girl. It's so confusing sometimes to be a girl. How do you feel being a girl? How do you feel being a girl? And I don't know, I'm just a girl.
Okay. I'm going to preface the song by saying that obviously I cannot relate to all the depths of this song, clearly based on the topic of it. I probably will comment more about the production and maybe the writing, but I cannot necessarily relate to it as much. So let's more like enjoy the song. And I'm very curious to hear Lord's, or the remix with Lord. So we'll see about that. But yeah, just wanted to put it out there because, you know, clearly I'm not the topic of conversation here in this song.
Yeah, I don't know if you like me. Sometimes I think you might hate me. Sometimes I think I might hate you. Maybe you just wanna be me. You always say let's go out, so we go eat at a restaurant. Sometimes it feels a bit awkward because we don't have much in common. People say what we like, they say we've got the same hair. We talk about making music, but I don't know if it's honest. Can't tell if you wanna see me falling over and failing, and you can't tell what you're feeling. I think I know how you feel.
Wow.
It's so confusing sometimes to be a girl. It's so confusing sometimes to be a girl. How do you feel being a girl? How do you feel being a girl? And I don't know, I'm just a girl. You're all about writing poems, but I'm about throwing parties. I think you should come to my party and put your hands up. I think we're totally different, but opposites do attract. Maybe we're so meant to be, just you and some music, the internet would go crazy, but you might still wanna see me falling over and failing. At least we're closer to being on the same page.
Huh.
It's so confusing sometimes to be a girl, 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 girl. It's so confusing sometimes to be a girl, 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 girl. How do you feel being a girl? How do you feel being a girl? Girl, and I don't know, I'm just a girl, 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 girl.
I really like the production on this one. I mean, to a certain extent, I felt like, and this is the only and best way I can describe it, but I felt like I was inside a computer. There's like a synth effect that sounds like data being transferred. I don't know, that's the best way I can put it. But yeah, this is definitely leaning towards more of the mainstream sound rather than the very deep, hardcore Charli that we've known in the past. But also, the thing I'm going to ask you guys might know the answer. Who is she referring to when she says we have the same hair? Is it actually Lorde or is it somebody else? Because if she wrote a song about like the comparisons to Lorde and then they remixed it to be like singing together, that is wild. Oh, hey, Jeremy. Okay, welcome. Well, first of all, welcome. Glad you are here to watch this video, and thank you for answering. Okay, this is about Lorde. The fact that she went on to remixing the song and having Lorde on it, wild. And I still haven't heard it, so that's going to be one thing to listen to, but that is interesting. That is really interesting. I wonder what prompted the writing of it like that, of referring to Lorde in the song. Yeah. Honestly, I liked it. As a song, this is definitely one I'm going to go back to. I liked the production, and like I said, I like the effect of like feeling in a computer. It's weird to explain, but it was like, I mean, the production so far has been amazing on the album altogether, and there's so many different elements to like, I'm going to say this. I don't know about you guys, but when I listen to music, I like listening to music on different like speakers and different ways of listening to music, whether it's like headphones, my computer monitors, my car, my earbuds when I connect to my cell phone to listen to music while I'm, away from home. Even the TV at home, if I put music on the TV, everywhere that you play music, you kind of hear it differently because of the way that the speakers work. And so you get to uncover different layers. And I feel like this is an album of that. By listening to it different ways, there's going to be so many different production elements that you're going to be able to spot. So I'm looking forward to doing just that with this album. I'm sure that by listening to it different ways, I'm going to focus on different elements and enjoy and appreciate those that complexity of production. All right, let's have a look at chat. About the previous song, it is a ballad with the influence of club music. Yeah, absolutely. Lorde, the internet did indeed go crazy. I'm not surprised. I heard it might be about Lorde or Marina. Oh, Marina. Okay, that's not bad. But if it is about Lorde, I mean, that is kind of a little bit mind-blowing, really. Cool. All right, so this would be, I'm just curious how far along in the album we are. This is track 10 out of 15. And the next one being Apple. I could not wait to get into this one. Let's go. Whoa.
I can see apple don't fall far from the tree, 'cause I've been looking at you so long now I only see me.
Oh, wow. Whoa. Okay.
I'm gonna drive all night. I'm gonna drive all night. I think the apple's rotten right to the core. From all the things passed down from all the apples coming before.
Whoa.
Split the apple down symmetrical lines. So what I find is kinda scary. Makes me just wanna drive.
Whoa.
Where you go when you're feeling alone? When you're feeling alone, dear. I know where you go when you're feeling alone. When you're feeling alone, dear.
Wait a minute. There is something so brilliant about the song. It sucks because, from what I can understand, it's really traumatic, but that is such a brilliant metaphor. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but from my understanding of the song, this is talking about generational trauma. Like, I think the apple's rotten down to, well, right to the core, from all of the things passed before, from all of the apples coming before. So think about it like a family tree, right? The whatever toxicity you would have in one fruit forcibly is going to be found across all the fruits in the tree. And I split the apple down symmetrical lines, and what I find is kind of scary, makes me want to drive. So she cut open the person, metaphorically, to explore who they are, get to know their inner self, and what she found makes her want to run away. This is brilliant. I had no idea this is what we were going to get an apple. That is so smart and yet so simple, but so effective. That is crazy. Okay, hold on. I'm curious. I got to read chat. I was terribly disappointed when the iPhone 16 came out, not in Brat color. That's a good one. This one almost feels like a different world. It takes listening to it again to fully get her concept here sonically. She almost took this song off of the album too. Oh, wow. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, it does feel just a slight bit different from the rest of the album. But, I mean, I like the production a lot. And the meaning of it, the meaning behind it is what blowed my mind. Hold on. I want to go through more texts of the song because I want to decode things. I guess the apple could turn yellow or green, which is funny because it could be like green with envy or is there an expression with yellow? I feel like there is one, but I'm not sure. I know there's a lot of different nuances to you and to me. I want to grow the apple, keep all the seeds. So like continue the family tree with the person, but I can't help but get so angry you don't listen to me. So the person in their behavior is not listening to Charli Xcx, and it stems from generational trauma. She wish and she could, and it would be healthy to like pursue and build a family with that person. But the reality is, whatever that person is dealing with makes her want to run away. Mind blown. That is incredible writing. Wow. Wild. Okay. I don't want to speak too soon, but I feel like that might take the top spot on my ranking. Maybe. I'll come back to it, but I'm definitely going to listen to this outside. Not only is it like fun and like the production is like great and it's very like poppy and like you can have such a party with it. But like I said, the writing of it, the lyrics and the storytelling of it, such a simple concept, and it just expanded beyond levels of depthness. That's pretty epic. Excited for this next one. Oh, wait, no, hold on. I missed your comment before. This one almost feels... Oh, no, I read that comment. Okay, next one being the song. I'm just going to check B2B, which is funny because in my world, B2B means business to business. I mean, it could be that. But I know that B2B has gotten some form of traction and attention from people. So let's dive into that one together. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. I have so many thoughts. Hold on. Whoa. Okay. There are so many things to cover with this one. Okay. Obviously, at face value, it has some level of repetitiveness, which is not meant for everybody. People who want a little more, I guess, depthness or, traditional pop, although in itself is kind of repeating and based on the idea of courses, but this is like specifically very repetitive. Now there's two layers, two kind of like ideas with the back, which is a bit like working out the back. And okay, hear me out. There's two ways you can see this. Working out the back as in like carrying the music industry. I know it's going to sound like very dramatic, what I'm saying, but like breaking muscle down, building muscle up, and repeating it took a long time before the success that she has, took a long time to get to the point where she is today. And she's been carrying a lot of, like, a good chunk of the music industry on her back as a songwriter and, like, as an inspiration for other artists. And so she's been working out her back from carrying all that weight throughout all the years. The other idea that we're working with here is you should run right back to her. I don't want to go back to... back to you. I don't want to fall right back to us. So this is the idea of, I mean, granted, there's two ways I'm trying to work with. Like, there's the repetitiveness of, like, why is it repeated that often? And also, what do the lyrics actually mean? So this is, I feel like it's almost like a follow-up to Apple, where it's like, because now you're realizing what you're dealing with, you don't want to go back to the way that it was before because you don't want to deal with that. But you see, the what often happens in, like, a toxic relationship is you end up going back, and then you kind of sell yourself to the idea that you shouldn't go back. So then you try to go your own way, but then you end up going back, and it creates a lot of back and forth. And when you're in that toxic cycle, you kind of keep repeating the same decisions and same actions over and over again, and you don't even realize it until, like, you're finally through with it and you cut everything off. So that repetitiveness is kind of like symbolic for that repetition of that toxic cycle, I think. Honestly, it's a lot of processing. But that, I guess, would be my own interpretation of it, or my own approach based on my personal experiences. But that's, you know, a lot of people just listen to music and they don't ask the question, why is it the way it is? There's always hidden meanings. And the difference between, like, surface level pop or music, generally speaking, and deep music is that ability to answer the question, why? Is it clear, and was there a purpose, or was it just done because it sounded good? Which sometimes it's fun when it sounds good, and you don't have to question it more than that. But definitely deep artistry is when you can ask the question why, and there is some sort of answer somewhere for that. Anyway, that was quite the experience, and I think she did perform it at the show yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe. I guess I'd have to look it up to see the set list. All right, so there are 3 tracks left. We are heading to Mean Girls.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. and she's out there in a sheer white dress, wearing last night's makeup, all coquettish in the pictures with the flash on. Worships Lana Del Rey in her AirPods. Yeah, she's in her mid-20s, real intelligent, hedonistic with the gravel jaw and dead eyes. You say she's anorexic and you heard she likes some people say it. Think you already know it, but you don't. This one's for all my mean girls. This one's for all my bad girls.
Okay.
This one's for all my break your boyfriend's heart girls.
Whoa.
For all my tearing shit apart girls. This one's for all my mean girls. This one's for all my bad girls. This one's for all my break your boyfriend's heart girls. For all my tearing shit apart girls. Yeah, it's...
This is definitely the track that I want to listen to if I'm a little bit mad at someone. Just like, I don't give a... I'm trying not to swear on the stream. That's why I'm, like, cutting myself dry here. But, like, really just, like, kind of overthinking the situation over and over again and all the different ways I could talk to the person and, like yell at them. Before we go any further into the song, I just saw a few messages pop up in the chat. She did not, sadly. Okay. Oh, okay. So I guess that must refer to the toxic cycle and the idea of coming out of it. Which sucks, but I guess you kind of learn from your experiences in life. A Mean Girls remix with Lana Del Rey would be a bop. Yeah. Just like Guess with Billy. 100. Oh, Guess. I haven't listened to Guess yet, right? Wait. Oh, hold on. Guess it's part of the 3 deluxe tracks that came out. Hold on. Okay, so I completely forgot about that. There's the deluxe version of the album with the 3 extra tracks. So I guess we might react to those 3, and then I'll keep the remixes for a separate time. Thank you for confirming. I had completely forgotten about the deluxe version of the album. Oh, you were talking about B2B not being on the set list. Well, see, I think that's one of the songs that she performed live in Montreal, and it wasn't supposed to be on the set list, and people were really happy, and then other people were like starting to request it for different cities. Anyway, yes, this song is interesting idea of having Lana feature on that one, especially because she's referred to it in the song. She's referred to, not to it. Grammar. Yeah, definitely the song I want to listen to when I'm like pissed off.
4 a.m. and she's out there with the razor sharp tongue stuck to skinny cigarettes, calling daddy while she's fingering a gold cross. And she's kind of fucked up, but she's still in vogue. Yeah, she's in her mid-20s, real intelligent. And you hate the fact she's New York City's darling. You say she's problematic, and the way you say it's so fanatic. Think she already knows that you're obsessed.
Whoa. Oh. What? Okay. I'm gonna say that this one actually sounds a little bit, or at least is reminiscing of, wait, what's her name? Hold on, my brain just stopped working. Hold on a minute. Give me a sec. Wait a minute. Kim Petras. There you go. Sorry, I completely forgot her name for a second, which is funny because I think she's the artist I must have reacted to the most on the channel. Yeah, the way that the song is written and the way it's sung reminds me of Kim Petras a little bit. And back to normal life. See, I think that it wouldn't be a fully self-aware album if there wasn't a certain like nod to the type of people that listen to her music, and just a reference to like that energy of people who really align with the genre that Charli Xcx embodies. So I think this obviously has a place in the album. Is it my favorite so far? Probably not. But I found the production with the piano thing really interesting, though. And I think in the context of listening to the whole album, obviously I wouldn't skip it. But it's not going to rank among the highest ones on the ranking. I might have to just listen to it a couple times over to really get into it.
I think about it all the time, that I might run out of time. But I finally met my baby, and the baby might be mine. Cause maybe one day I might, if I don't run out of time. Would it give my life a new purpose? I was walking around in Stockholm, seriously thinking about my future for the first time. It was ice cold, playing demos on my iPhone. I went to my friend's place and I met their baby for the first time.
Okay, I mean, once again, we're really like diving directly into the topic. She doesn't take like 4 different ways to get to an end goal. She goes straight for it. So obviously, what we're hearing is directly what she means to say. But also, I stopped the song because I wanted to say that her vocal production is very different on this one. And I don't know if it feels like the autotune might be turned down quite a bit. And we're getting a more of a soft-spoken version, I guess. I don't know. I can't quite make it, but her voice sounds really different on this one. Less processed, less deep, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue the song.
How sublime, what a joy, oh my, standing there, same old clothes she wore before, holding her child. Yeah, she's a radiant mother and he's a beautiful father. And now they both know these things that I don't. I think about it all the time, that I might run out of time. But I finally met my baby, and the baby might be mine. Cause maybe one day I might, if I don't run out of time.
Wow.
Would it make me miss all my freedom? I think about it all the time. I think about it all the time, that I might run out of time. But I finally met my baby, and the baby might be mine. Cause maybe one day I might, if I don't run out of time. Would it give my life a new purpose? I think about it all the time.
Whoa.
Exactly the same, but they're different now. And I'm so scared I'm missing out on something. So, we had a conversation on the way home. Should I start my birth control? Cause my career feels so small.
Wow.
The existential scheme of it all. Time.
Whoa! This is what I mean. We're getting some levels of depth in the album and the meaning of it that is just so, I don't even know how to describe it. It just makes me completely stop in my tracks and be in awe of the writing and the brutal honesty, but also makes me feel sad for her because, like, on that topic, I kind of relate. Like, I'm at a point in my life where some of my friends are starting to have children, and I'm still single. I'm still by myself. I don't know if I ever will. It's something that I kind of want to make my, like, I'm looking at my mom and my grandmother, and I'm like, oh, that'd be great if they could become a great mother and a grandmother, a great grandmother and a grandmother. So I'm like, it's kind of like the questioning that I understand, and this album has so many elements of self-doubt and inner monologue, which is not very common in mainstream music. It's really surprisingly well made. I mean, I'm not surprised because I knew this was coming up, but I guess my expectations weren't even close to what we're actually getting. So I'm pleasantly surprised with this project. See, it's got me like misspeaking to you guys, but yeah, I'm blown away by that. I think honestly, those are the nuggets of like pure, I guess, gold in the project, where it's you it's untouchable. You cannot say anything about it because it's just perfectly built. It reminds me actually of a song, kind of not exactly the same topic, but really close. More by Halsey off of her Manic album. That it was such a beautiful song. You can't. There's nothing you can do about. Like, you have to sit there and admire the song. That's the only thing you can do about it. You can relate to it, but you can't criticize the song like that. It just is what it is, and you have to be in awe of it. So yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed. Not surprised, but impressed. All right. I know I haven't responded to chat for a second. So I guess it's on the deluxe. Yeah, I was talking about B2B not being on the set list. Yeah. So that's what I understood as well. She did Spring Breakers in Montreal. Possibly. I wouldn't be able to tell. I dare say it's her best album, to be honest. Listen, I think that so far she definitely took great notes of Crash in the commercial approach, in the simplification of the sound to make it more accessible. We still have some iconic pieces that are very Charli Xcx signature style, but many of the tracks are a lot more, like I said, accessible is really the best word. They're not simpler, they're not less artistic, they're just more accessible and more easy to understand and relate to, or pay attention to, and alienates less people as opposed to the material that she had proposed before, which honestly, everything serves its time in the progress of a career for an artist, where some elements are really there to distinguish yourself from others, prove your artistry, and then some other elements are there for the commercial success, which at the end of the day, you kind of need if you want to absolutely make a living out of it. So, I mean, good for her. I think it's not a wrong perspective on the album to say that it might be her best work yet. And I say that as I'm less familiar with those sounds and those avenues, so I need to really get into it. I'm not sure about the best album, to be honest, even if it's my album of the year. Well, I don't know. It's I think it's one of Charli XCX. I think has the ability to create such iconic pieces that distinguish themselves from each other in the right time and in the right context, that it's maybe a little harder to compare one to another. But from, I guess from more of a mainstream line of thinking, I think this probably is better than Crash and better than projects from before, at least in my opinion. There's something that's so brutally honest and less hidden in the production that makes it more, or makes me more, like, appreciate more the project. Oh, wait, Pop 2, and I just caught on. They're the acronyms for the albums that she released in the past. Okay, all right. I think my two brain cells are really like overstimulated with things from the album. Okay, so we have one last track from the original version of the album, and then we'll head on to the deluxe tracks. 365, which I did hear live in concert yesterday, but this is my time to now discover the lyrics of it properly and listen to it completely. All right, whoops. Okay.
Here we go. When I'm in the club, yeah, when I'm at the house, yeah, 365 party girl. Should we do a little key? Should we have a little line? Wanna go real wild?
Hold on. Am I hallucinating, or does this draw from 360 in terms of production and melody? I might be crazy. I'm going to have to listen to 360 again after. Okay. It does. Okay, I'm not crazy. All right. Thank God. For a second, I was like, am I already confusing this this early on? Okay. Whew, I'm not crazy. I'm just going to reread the last few comments. I'm not sure how I'm feeling now. Yeah, it's a pandemic album, but Pop 2 will always be the blueprint. The whiplash from last track, I love it. Okay, all right, let's continue.
Meet me in the bathroom if you're 365 party girl. French manicure, wipe away the residue, push my hair back, look hot when I'm. No, I really don't stop when I'm gonna jump when it drops when I'm. Dial 999, it's a good time. Who the fuck are you? I'm a brat when I'm bumping that. No, I wanna hit my track. Are you bumping that? Till the windows crack. I'll be. No, I'll never go home. Don't sleep, don't eat, just do it on repeat. Keep. When I'm in the club, yeah, I'm 365 party girl. Shall we do a little key? Shall we have a little wine? Wanna go real wild when I'm. Meet me in the bathroom if you're 365 party girl. French manicure, wipe away the residue, push my hair back, look hot when I'm. No, I really don't stop when I'm. Gonna jump when it drops when I'm. Dial 999, it's a good time. Who the fuck are you? I'm a brat when I'm bumping that. No, I wanna hit my track. Are you bumping that? Till the windows crack, I'll be bumping that.
Hold on. I keep forgetting that in the UK it's 999 for emergency services as opposed to 911 in North America. I was like, dial 999, why? But I just caught on. All right.
Never go home, don't sleep, don't eat, just do it on repeat. Keep. When I'm in the club, yeah, I'm 365 party girl.
Whoa.
Should we do a little key? Should we have a little line? Wanna go real wild when I'm. Meet me in the bathroom if you're 365 party girl. French manicure, wipe away the residue. I look hot when I'm. No, I really don't stop when I'm. Gonna jump when it drops when I'm. Dial 999, it's a good time. Who the fuck are you? I'm a brat when I'm bumping that. No, I wanna hit my track. Are you bumping that? Till the windows crack, I'll be bumping that. No, I'll never go home, don't sleep, don't eat, just do it on repeat. Keep. When I'm in the club, yeah, I'm 365 party girl. Should we do a little key? Should we have a little line? Wanna go real wild when I'm. Meet me in the bathroom if you're 365 party girl. French manicure, wipe away the residue. Keep. 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 Keep.
Huh.
Keep. 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 Keep.
Whoa, okay. I had a thought while listening to the song. Obviously, there's a similarity to 360. There's this progression and this this kind of like intensity that appears in the song. My mind, trying to interpret like the body of work as a whole, realized that this is kind of like I feel like the album symbolizes really the reason why we go and have parties. There are so many different topics that are obviously intense and or sad and or important that are addressed in the album. And it feels like we showed up to a party to be able to ignore all of the reasons that bring us down in life. The purpose of having a party is to distract ourselves, is to have fun and let go of life. And so we went through the arch of all of the topics that bear on our minds while, in the everyday life. And I feel like it's kind of the I don't know how to explain it. The goal was to avoid thinking about these topics, but then in the process of going clubbing, we kind of like went over all these topics in such a like touch and go style to then wrap up the night like back in the mindset of a party and like kind of ending this where it began, which was we went out to have fun. There's something, dare I say, poetic about how this album was made. Like this idea and this vision of it. And it just, yeah, it feels like, first of all, it's definitely cohesive. Second of all, there are so many deep topics in it. And third of all, it just, there's an arch, like it kind of, everything connects together. And it feels like we just really walked into Charli XCX's brain for a second. In a party mode. Okay, I'm going to have a look at the comments in the chat. Definitely a great album. I'm sure that we can all agree on. Yeah, for sure. She knows how to close an album. This is Visions 2.0, and I'm absolutely here for it. Definitely. This reminds me of Mirway's 2000 work for Madonna. Ooh, I'm not 100% familiar, but that is an excellent reference. It's also a mirror of 360, 66 with the Princess Streak versus Dial 999 for a good time. Yeah, absolutely. The 360 into the 365 into 360 loops pretty well too. I'm gonna have to test that. Hold on. I'm gonna put the album on repeat. And oops. I'm sorry for your speakers. Okay, all right. Let's test it. Oh wait, no. Why did it not? It added a different song. Hold on a minute. It added a different song in the queue. Let me remove it. Okay. Okay. Okay, I see it. Yeah, definitely. I mean, because the melodies are so similar between the two songs, if not identical, they definitely connect together really, really well. Wow, that is a brilliant project. I really liked it. And obviously, the sound isn't for everybody. It's still, I guess, in a certain niche, if you will, but it's less niche than it was before and explains why she's had so much success with it, like I said. Yeah, well, it's not exactly country. It's Red Wine Supernova by by Chapel Roan that was playing. I don't know why that song, but yes, it has country influences, so probably that's what you heard in it. All right, so I'm very happy that we got through the album together. I like so many of them, and I'll try to make my ranking after. And now, like promised, we are going to do the deluxe tracks of Brat. Let me just open up that album. So we have Hello, Goodbye, Guess, and Spring Breakers. Hi, Jose. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. And yeah, I think I answered your question.
I don't know what's going on most of the time. I'm out my mind, a nervous wreck. I said goodbye and not hello. Don't even know. Felt a little fear and some anxiety the second you arrived. And kind of smiled at me, my heart began to rise. I panicked quietly, so silently. I said goodbye before you came. I turned around and ran away. I was too scared, I should have said hello, 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 hello. I said
Okay.
In my head, replaying all my worst regrets. I shot myself, I'm born to lose now. All I do is think about you. Felt a little fear and some anxiety the second you arrived. And kinda smart at me, my heart began to rise. I'm freaking quietly, so sorry.
Yeah.
I said goodbye before you came. I turned around and ran away. I was too scared, I should have said hello, 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 hello. I said goodbye before you came. I turned around and ran away. I felt too scared, I should have said hello, 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 hello. Goodbye.
Oh.
Goodbye. I really don't know why I said goodbye before you came. I turned around and ran away. I was too scared, I should have said hello, 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 hello. I said goodbye before you came. I turned around and ran away. I felt too scared, I should have said hello, 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 hello.
So, I mean, first of all, it's a great track. I like it a lot. I like the production on it and the melody. Second of all, I don't know who the topic is for this song. I mean, I don't know if it relates to because there could be two ways, right? There's either the reason why you have anxiety is because you've had a past with that person and it's like not a good past. Probably the same person from, Apple. And you get anxiety around them when you show up to the same functions. Or quite the opposite, somebody new that you kind of really want to get to know and you just get anxiety at the thought of like them and you interacting together. So it's more of butterflies in your stomach type of anxiety. In any case, I really liked it. It did remind me of like house music from the early 2000s. I think what I really like about that one is the melody, especially the topic. I'm like, okay, like I understand the feeling and I've been there before, but it's really just like the production that I was really vibing to for a while. So yeah. Now, chat. Fun fact, Hello Goodbye is the only song Charli hasn't performed live. Okay. Well, from Brat, yeah, obviously. Love Deluxe song, but Spring Breaker is number one for me personally. Okay, so we're going to get to that in a minute. This kind of reminds me of Perfume's earlier work, if you know them. I do know them. I don't quite remember their music, but I've definitely heard the name and I've heard some songs, I feel, in the past. So I'm going to have to dive into it. I feel like Hello Goodbye is a continuation of Talk Talk. Well, yeah, exactly. In the idea of like somebody new that you want to like get to know and impress, definitely these feel kind of like sister tracks. If it's like more of, hey, I'm meeting up with somebody that I don't have a good past with, then it's all kind of a post, like an episode later after Apple. So I guess we'll never know exactly which one, but all in all, like the song. And now we're heading into Guess, which, that's the original version without Billie Eilish.
wanna guess the color of my underwear? You wanna know what I got going on down there? Is it pretty in pink or all see-through? Is it showing off my brand new lower back tattoo? You wanna put them in your mouth, pull them all down south. You wanna turn this shit out, that's what I'm talking about.
Damn.
Put them in your mouth, pull them all down south. You wanna turn this shit out, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Try it, bite it, lick it, spit it, pull it to the side and get all up in it. Wear and post and might remix it, send him to the day, yeah, I think he's with it. Try it, bite it, lick it, spit it,
Okay.
pull it to the side and get all up in it. Wear and post and might remix it, send him to the day, yeah, I think he's with it. You wanna guess the color of my underwear? You wanna know what I got going on down there? Is it pretty in pink or all see-through? Is it showing off my brand new lower back tattoo? You wanna put them in your mouth, pull them all down south. You wanna turn this shit out, that's
I'm just going to say this is a classic beat for a club. This is exactly what to expect if you're going out clubbing on a Saturday night.
what I'm talking about. You wanna try it, bite it, lick it, spit it, pull it to the side and get all up in it. Wear and post and might remix it, send him to the day, yeah, I think he's with it.
Might remix it. Huh.
I think he's with it. Guess.
Oh. Want to guess the password to my Google Drive? Huh. Okay, I like the ending. I like how she's not taking herself seriously with it. Guess how much money I just took from this deal. Guess the want to guess the password to my Google Drive. You want to guess the address of the party I'm at. You want to guess if I am serious about this song. Nice. Yeah, no, it's I'm curious to like. I feel like this is the most. It's not exactly 100%, but I feel like it might be the most explicit one out of all the songs that we've. Which ironically is not explicit in itself in terms of the words, but like in terms of the imagery and the topic. Yeah, there's it's like I said, I feel like I just literally walked into a club hearing this. Like, this is exactly what I expect out of a dance club. Maybe around like, I want to say 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And I'm really curious to see Billy's feature on it. And I know like Billy's been changing a bit her direction and obviously like, growing up as an adult. But I'm a little bit surprised that she would appear on a track like this. Just a little bit. All right, comments in chat. Unpopular opinion, I like the original version of Guess better. I feel like the Billy's version changes the intention of the song. Ooh, see? Okay, so this kind of aligns with what I'm saying. I'm curious to see what it's all about because I would be a little bit surprised that she would jump on a track like this at this point in her career. The original feels like a threat while Billy version is flirtatious. Ah, okay. I'm happy she had a moment with Billy, but she doesn't add as much as what Lorde did. Okay, I guess we'll see this together when we react next time. Not the XCX World Leaks. Oh my God, that is so true. I had forgotten about that. Oh, wow. And now I get, okay. Yeah. Okay, Google Drive comes from the fact that her account was hacked and her music was leaked. I had forgotten about that. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Wow. Like I said, she pulls inspiration from these situations and she makes them into this iconic piece of work, really. Okay, and Spring Breakers, the last one.
Hi, it's me, you're all in danger. Never getting past it because I'm such a hater. Got my finger on the detonator.
I definitely remember hearing that one at the concert last night. Definitely.
Crazy girl shit, gonna go Spring Breakers. Every time I make it so
Yes, with the sample of Every Time.
4, 3, 2, 1, see you later. Crazy girl shit, gonna go Spring Breakers. Gonna go Spring Breakers. Gonna go Spring Breakers. Vroom, 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 vroom in a big pink truck. February 10th and I'm gonna pull up. Hey, Staples Center, what the fuck is up? Yeah, I'm parked outside watching all the girls strut. Got the custom on, hit the worst dress list. Yeah, you better not slide, not slip, not trip. Cause I put a load of
Hit the worst dress list. Oh no.
gasoline on the carpet. Lit a cigarette, took a drag, then I just flicked it. Place went boom, 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 clap. And I just laughed when the bodies went
Boom,
splat.
clap.
Yeah, I would end up with my hands behind my back in a police
Whoa.
car. Blue and red sirens all flash, 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 flashlights and cameras everywhere. Now I'm on the news with the DUI stare. Who cares? Just put me on the platform, turn the microphone on. There's no one I wanna thank out there. Yeah.
Whoa.
In danger, never getting past it cause I'm such a hater. Got my finger on the detonator. Crazy girl shit, gonna go Spring Breakers. Every time I make it so outrageous, always gonna lose to people playing safer. 4, 3, 2, 1, see you later. Crazy girl shit, gonna go Spring Breakers. Gonna go Spring Breakers.
Whoa.
Gonna go Spring Breakers. On the flip side, I could talk real nice. Maybe if you give me that prize, you might see a tear from my eye. Might change my whole damn life. I maybe thank God on stage. Yeah, I swear I'd be so nice. No, I never misbehave, and I do my speech on time. Maybe something just like, hi, it's me, you're all in danger. Never getting fussy cause I'm such a hater. Got my finger on the detonator. Crazy girl shit, gonna go Spring Breakers. Every time I make it so outrageous, always gonna lose to people playing safer. 4, 3, 2, 1, see you later. Crazy girl shit, gonna go Spring Breakers. Gonna go Spring Breakers. Gonna go Spring Breakers.
Whoa. And I mean, I think when if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was at the beginning or at the end of the song, I can't remember, but she did play a little bit of Every Time by Britney Spears to kind of tie in and create this like transition in the show. This actually, out of all the tracks, is the one that reminds me of Crash the most. It really sonically like is very similar to a lot of the elements that we found in Crash. But I mean, to a certain extent, almost has addresses a topic similar to what the album Crash did, which was her way to get out of her label, and it was criticism of the music industry at the time. It's a fun I like the lyrics and like what she's painting out there as an image with that song specifically. There's something about it that's very comical a little bit to a certain extent. About it, but otherwise the production I liked a lot. I really liked Crash as an album too, sonically. So that's up my alley for sure, absolutely. All right, I saw a few comments come in, but I was trying to focus on the track at the same time. So now I'm gonna have a look at chat. She plays Taxi from time to time over PA before shows. Over the PA. Hold on, I'm so confused. She plays Taxi from time to time over the... Oh, you mean like over the sound system before the concert starts. All right, now that makes more sense. Fun fact, the song from Lana Del Rey's deluxe album, Ultraviolence, was supposed to be the one of the soundtracks for the film of the same name, Spring Breakers. I remember with Selena Gomez and Vanessa Hudgens. Yeah. I nearly had a fit when she said this was going to be on her album, so I'm glad we have it. See, there's I'm going to take a minute to talk about deluxe versions because the mentality for deluxe versions have changed a lot in the last few years. Whereas before, when people actually made money off of albums because they were physical sales. Deluxe versions were really just a, like a way to make a bit more money. Like there would be a couple of dollars difference versus the original version. And it would feature songs that would not be considered for awards and consideration when it came to recognitions like that. So forcibly over time, the quality of songs for the deluxe tracks were really just the ones that didn't make the cut for the original version. However, nowadays, because music is seen much more as content and not necessarily the drivers to make music, as tours and shows are now the drivers really to make music, to make money off of the industry. People actually, I think, purposely keep some of the good songs for the deluxe version as a way to revive the album. And it's also the reason why we went from the deluxe version being released the same day in stores in physical copies as the main version versus delaying the release of the deluxe version so that it's used almost like, social media content to like draw in attention again, which is unfortunate in some way. Also, provides a different type of opportunity in another. But yeah, I feel like obviously deluxe tracks are a great thing to be able to share, tracks that almost made it but didn't, because it's important to build a body of work that makes sense, that is coherent, and that is telling, to a certain extent, a journey without necessarily filling it with like information. But I feel like a lot of artists, like I said, are keeping like good tracks for the deluxe version, in the idea that usually like there's a single that will come out with the deluxe version, or they want to make sure that it gets the same attention as the original version. Anyway, all this to say that thank God it came out with this version because I also like it. I love that this is an FU Grammy song. I think I thought about it too, and I didn't dive into that, but definitely there's a bit of criticism towards the industry, and which, perfectly aligns with the Crash theme and references as well. I really hope she wins an award this year and starts her acceptance speech with, "Hi, it's me, you're all in danger." Oh, you did not like Crash. Okay. My least favorite post Vroom Vroom album. Interesting. Was there... Oh, okay, I see your comment later. Hold on. Crash is a good album, but it's not a great Charli album. Yeah, exactly. I think but that's exactly what was happening. What's really brilliant about the album Crash, in my opinion, is that what happened with it is it was her way to get out of a label, and it was her way to kind of like get back at the label and mock them in a way. She made that music as a way to like say, I'm going to play the character that you want me to play, but I'll take this opportunity to criticize you for it. So obviously sonically it sounds a lot more mainstream, but that was purposefully done to mock the music industry and her label for not letting her go independent. So I think in its idea, it was brilliant. And that's something that nobody can negate. Obviously, sound-wise, not everybody necessarily liked the sound, but in its idea, it's in conception, I think it was a smart album. The Ava Max of it all. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. But see, that's the thing. Pop music often, especially the lame pop music that labels think people want, is often, or seems, underbaked. It's often like that. So it was her way to mock it. And I think for that aspect, it was brilliant. Anyway, all this to say that we have concluded the album for Charli Xcx. We have done it all. What an album. There is so many different tracks that I want to get back to after and listen to again. I think it was a beautiful, brutally honest, aware, introspective take on her life and her mindset. And it didn't, for a pop album, it didn't talk about love all that much, or at least the traditional romantic love. It was very self-critical, but also analytical and smart in writing, for sure. And I mean, the production, as always. I think, like I said, she really has her own lane. She lives in a world of her own, and I think that as, you know, artists look up to her because she's virtually untouchable. She's doing her own thing, and you can't copy it. You can draw inspiration from it, but you can't copy it.